A new wave of high-tech homes is exploding across the world. Homes that float on water.
It's really hard to stop 90,000 pounds.
This couple
Oh, that's awesome.
Quite an engineering miracle that it's going to hold all that glass up there.
face a real battle
We're moving a house by hand, playing tug-of-war with the wind.
as they join the pioneers taking the ultimate plunge to design and build their own incredible floating home. We're on Vancouver Island, just off Canada's west coast. A natural paradise, famed for its scenic coastline, lakes, forest, and wildlife. Nature lovers Janzen and Tina McComb enjoy exploring the island.
We're really looking forward to seeing, all kinds of different wildlife. Seals and birds and
Otters, yeah.
Yes, we encountered some otters when we were down here the last time.
There's always something going on. That's one of the things I really love.
For their next home together, Harry and Tina are planning to design and build a waterborne home. They want to moor it here at Maple Bay Marina, a new community of floating homes on Vancouver Island's east coast.
I see myself getting up early in the morning sometimes and going out and doing an hour's fishing before I go to work. Yeah, it's going to be that simple. Get in the boat and go.
Floating homes are ideal for those wanting to get closer to nature. Floor-to-ceiling bedroom windows open right out onto the water, where you can say good morning to the locals. Underwater windows mean the fish get a look in too. River-facing decks offer the perfect spot to soak up the wild landscapes. Key features for Harry and Tina's wildlife-friendly float home include glass walls to take in the wilderness views, flexible indoor-outdoor space, a huge roof deck, and high ceilings.
I think it starts right here, where this little
Where that
metal.
metal thing.
Tina and Harry have chosen this slip to moor their float home. It costs $750 a month and has panoramic views right out across the Bay Islands.
The little island here is a bird sanctuary, and so I'm hoping to have the binoculars out lots and look at exactly what's nesting there and what's coming in.
The process of building a float home begins with a design. David Mezier is the brains behind this unique marina, and his challenge is to design a float home that gives them the views they are after.
We really want to maximize the amount of deck that there is, so we'd like it to wrap around and have a look so we can see the marina as well from up there.
Excellent.
Just absolutely maximize it.
We'll sit down and we'll figure it out for you.
David is designing a large, open, three-story home with two huge outside decks. The lower floor contains the master bedroom, a second spare bedroom, and an office, all with views out onto the water. The second floor opens out onto a wall of glass, leading onto the patio. A large, high-vaulted ceiling built above the roofline will give a sense of space and light. On the roof, a massive deck, complete with 360-degree views. Building a structure that can support all this glass will cost them $380,000. So how will this house float on water? Polystyrene blocks are light and float. So Dave's team will assemble a series of polystyrene blocks to form a level base. They'll cut trenches into the block for water pipes and utilities. They must wrap reinforced steel panels around the blocks to make the structure strong enough to build on. Then seal all sides of the platform with concrete to turn it into a watertight, unsinkable foundation pad. It's the day of the big concrete pour. Dave's crew will build the float in 2 halves so it's easier to transport.
We start by laying out the EPS foam billets in a pattern configuration that's suitable for the flotation.
For strength, they wrap the foam billets with a steel mesh called rebar. Then they seal the sides with 90 tons of concrete.
I'm looking for any rebar movement when I'm pouring, any foam movement. Foam movement is the biggest part because if that shifts, then the float could not float properly when it goes put in the water. So it's all good. It's all good.
Because it's sitting on the water, it is critical that it is absolutely level.
They now face a tense 7-day wait for the concrete to dry beneath the tarp. Only when they unwrap it will they know if the pour has been a success. Any cracks, and they must start all over again. On Vancouver Island,
How's your side, Bert? You know which one we're getting in between, right?
builder David Messier and his team have poured the 2 45-ton concrete float sections that will support Harry and Tina's wilderness floating home. This 3-story nautically themed house will have multiple viewing decks, a massive vaulted ceiling, and see-through glass walls to take in the amazing views out to the Bay Islands. Now the floats must travel 65 miles south to the mooring site at Maple Bay Marina to join the thriving community of waterborne homes here.
We will bring in a 200-ton crane to lift the dock section onto a flatbed truck for transportation.
This will take a steady hand. Any twisting, and it could crash into the crane.
You hold on to a tagline like this, you spin it around the crane, you don't want to get the piece moving too fast because it's really hard to stop 90,000 pounds.
It's crucial that the floats sit level on the trucks to stop them cracking under their own weight. Finally, the 2 huge foundation sections are good to go. After a 4-hour journey, they arrive at Maple Bay Marina. The team carefully lowers the foundation blocks into the water.
What you're seeing is the displacement of the air inside of the float escaping.
Success.
I think I'm pretty happy. I think it's worked out really well. I think you can ask for much more. The next step will be to bolt the 2 components together, and we will build the structure on top of them.
The floating foundation may be in place, but now the hard work really begins. Floating homes blur the distinction between interior and exterior space. Glass and wooden screens turn patio decks into living areas, and wrap-around walkways with sliding doors make for al fresco entertaining. Harry and Tina want one corner of their home to be made entirely out of glass. But glass is not strong enough to support the weight of the roof deck on top. So Dave and his team must install a special steel support frame inside the heart of the house. The frame will carry the weight of the roof decks above and take the pressure away from the fragile glass walls. Adding a 1-ton steel frame into a floating house is a bold experiment that could throw the design off balance.
We'll put this piece on together here, and then we'll be able to put the window along the side here, and that should provide the support that we need.
All I'm hoping for is it doesn't change the ballast too much of the float, right?
Yeah, it'll be heavy.
Your weight, so that's my only concern.
Using frame in this particular application is unique, and it does provide a certain set of risk for us to put this into the structure.
3 weeks later, and the 1-ton frame is installed. It's causing the floating foundation to tilt. The team hopes that the weight of the wooden walls will rebalance the house as they are built around it.
It is going to be covered in wood for the most part, so you won't even see the structure.
With the ground floor frames up,
Here we are. Here's the den.
Harry and Tina take a sneak peek.
It's pretty awesome. I guess it's quite an engineering miracle, but it's going to hold all that glass up there.
On Vancouver Island, it's taken 5 weeks for builder David Messier to complete the frame of Harry and Tina's floating home. It sits perfectly balanced in the water. The reinforced frame supports a massive roof deck, the size of the footprint.
This is your outdoor space, your rooftop deck. This is where you'll spend your summer, and I don't think that you can get a better view anywhere in the world.
Many float homes have a pitched roof. Harry and Tina wanted to use this wasted space for a massive sun deck. But by flattening the roof, they risked losing the sense of height over the living area. So David has added a 14-foot barrel roof in one corner to compensate. And at the other side, a covered access porch to the roof deck.
It is put up segment by segment. There are 13 different segments. As we put it together, it creates the arch shape. One of the critical issues is to make sure that you have a very dramatic open feeling inside of the home, and the barrel roof provides a 14-foot high interior ceiling and a very wide open sense of living.
Now the tricky part, fitting a 4-foot porthole window high in the vault of the ceiling.
This is a pretty large window, and it's about 30 feet off the ground, so we want to make sure that we get this done proper. Round windows are a bit of a challenge to put in because it's a little bit like putting a round peg in a square hole.
They cut a hexagon shape to support the 200-pound pane of glass.
If this window drops, it'll send a shiver up my back. This is not something we want to have happen. It'll set us back a day or more.
Ten more circular holes are cut into the frame and sealed with protective plastic. Then the portholes are nailed over the holes. Now, they're ready to install the 1,000-pound moving glass windows that will divide the interior and exterior living room space.
This open space will be filled with a massive moving wall system that will allow Tina and Harry to open this space completely. In the summertime, it will be like living outdoors. In the wintertime, they can close the deck. It's a very versatile space.
They rotate the 15-ton house to give access to the front.
Heave, boys, heave! Right now we're moving the house by hand. We got the tide coming in here. Playing tug of war with the wind. Makes it a little bit harder.
The team prepare for the hardest part of the build so far.
How do you want to do it? You want to go in front, back, front, back.
adding the sliding glass doors and windows.
We're good.
This is really new ground for us. We have never put this kind of a window system in a float home before.
I think that if we lift it up and then stand it up on that landing there, can only try it. Yeah. Why do they gotta be so heavy?
Custom made in the States, the interlocking glass windows aren't easy to replace.
It's a workout for sure.
It's absolutely critical that these windows get installed correctly. If any mistakes are made or if anything gets broken, it will put us back 6 weeks. There is no room for error.
On Vancouver Island, Dave's team has spent the last month installing the glass doors and windows in Tina and Harry's dream floating home. The house has been clad in weatherproof cedar panels. It's now ready to move to its mooring just 200 feet across the channel on the far side of the dock.
Well, today's the big move day. There's a little bit of wind today, and the tides are just about slack, but they're going to start moving pretty quick.
Moving the home.
This may be a short move, but once the house enters the channel, strong currents could pull it off course. Builder Dave will use 2 motorboats to hold it steady. The first boat pushes the house from the dock, while the other pulls it. The winds immediately blow it backwards.
You're gonna get too close to the other house there.
It's heading straight into the neighboring house.
Swing it east. He's gotta watch where he's going.
Wind comes up, blows us a little bit. You never predict the weather.
They head away from the safety of the dock and out into the tidal channel.
Give her some thrust.
The 2 boats must adjust their bearing to counter the changing tide.
This way. Yeah, other way. More.
30,000 pounds, it's a big piece of material to move, so we just want to make sure we have the horsepower in place to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
But as the house approaches its mooring,
It's pretty shallow in there.
they could run aground in the shallow water.
There's only like 3 feet under this house.
Clear of the seabed, it's the home stretch.
Stop!
Strong winds are pushing them into the mooring too fast.
Get ready to brake there, Scotty. Slow it down. Hit her hard. Keep doing it. Yeah, keep going. House brakes. Put on the house brakes.
The lead boat slows down the house
Good. Let her go.
long enough to get the mooring ropes attached.
Touchdown.
It's with a lot of relief that we have the float home in its home, and we're looking forward to having Tina and Harry move in.
As Dave's team continue working on the final stages of the fit-out,
Very blue.
Tina and Harry are busy planning how to furnish their huge interior spaces.
I probably spent a lot of time trying to figure out the best place to put things.
On the ground floor are the 3 bedrooms. Their luxury ensuite bathrooms are almost complete.
It'll be wonderful. The bed will be right there,
The boat will be sitting right outside.
right
there.
outside, ready to go.
The second floor is divided into 3 distinct zones: living area, dining area, and through the moving glass doors, the open deck.
Dining room table right here, barbecue right out here. Perfect.
Above the living area, the vaulted ceiling gives a sense of lofty space.
And it's really, really airy in here with that high ceiling.
But it's the huge roof deck that makes this home unique.
Well, we'll be spending a lot of time up here,
a
that's
lot
for sure.
of time up here. This will be our biggest outside space.
Party deck.
It's taken just 5 months to build this amazing waterborne retreat. Now, Harry and Tina have the wilderness views they dreamed of without compromising on the luxury living they yearn for.
We're looking forward to barbecues, parties on the upper deck, getting in the boat right off the deck.
It's been a real adventure and a real process, and we're just really looking forward to being here and enjoying our lives.
Can't wait to get started.